why those one world people exist, because it's a very powerful concept to have and far too lucrative and beneficial to not. Everybody is a supplier. Epstein, Weinstein, like these guys knew what these extremists liked and provided it, and provided the way for you to to have $1 billion and not create a fantasy island type environment has not existed throughout history.
Right.
What if one of the most kind faces on television wasn't kind at all? For years, one uncomfortable question quietly echoed through Hollywood. How does someone who built an empire on the words, "be kind," end up being described backstage as cold, difficult, even intimidating? Every time the name Ellen DeGeneres came up, that question followed close behind. For nearly 2 decades, she dominated daytime television. The Ellen DeGeneres Show became a cultural phenomenon. Huge celebrities, massive ratings, and a brand built on smiles, laughter, and dancing. But when the show suddenly ended, the whispers didn't stop. They got louder. And as more stories began surfacing, people started asking, was Ellen really who she appeared to be? And through all of this, one man never stayed silent. Katt Williams. While others played it safe, he warned people for years. Hollywood isn't what it looks like. According to him, it's a world full of masks, where even kindness can be part of the performance. So when the cracks in Ellen's image began to show, people remembered his words. And suddenly, everything started to look different.
This is a good night for a young comedian to appear because you're all in a great mood. This is her first appearance on network television, although she can be seen this month on HBO's Young Comedian Special. And she's working at the Improvisation in San Diego this weekend. She'll be at the San Francisco Punchline the 3rd through the 6th of December, and at the Dallas Improv December the 9th through the 6th to 14th. Would you welcome Ellen DeGeneres? Ellen?
Thank you. Hi. Good. You feeling good? Me too. Feels great. I've been keeping in shape lately, you know. You have to. I'm getting older. I'm 27. People say, you don't look 27. You look like you're about 23. I'm lucky because that runs in my family. My grandmother is 97. She looks about 93. Have a little nephew who's 4, doesn't even look like he's born yet. Tiny embryo.
But Ellen DeGeneres didn't start at the top. She was born on the 26th of January, 1958, in Louisiana, living an ordinary life long before fame found her. Like many others, she worked regular jobs trying to figure things out. Until the early 1980s, when she stepped onto small comedy stages performing stand-up in front of tiny audiences. Then came a moment that changed everything. In 1986, she appeared on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. And after her performance, Carson did something rare. He invited her to sit on the couch. Back then, that meant one thing. You made it.
This is so hard, but I think I've realized that I can't even say the word. Why can't I say the word? I mean, why can't I just say... I mean, what is wrong? Why do I have to be so ashamed? I mean, why can't I just say the truth? I mean, be who I am. I'm 35 years old. I'm so afraid to tell people. I mean, Susan, I'm gay.
From there, her career took off. In the 1990s, she starred in her own sitcom, Ellen. Then in 1997, she made a bold move that shocked Hollywood. On the cover of Time magazine, she came out as gay, at a time when her show was already facing intense competition. It was risky, and the consequences came fast. Her show was canceled. Networks pulled back. For a moment, it looked like her career was over. But Ellen wasn't finished. In 2003, she made a comeback with the Ellen DeGeneres show, and this time she came with a powerful image: positivity, kindness, good energy. At the end of every episode, she repeated one simple message: be kind to one another. And that message became her identity. The formula worked. Over 3,000 episodes, dozens of awards, a place at the very top. But behind the scenes, something else was slowly building.
Producers speaking out on camera for the first time about what it was like working for Ellen DeGeneres.
Toxic, phony, hypocrite, liar. That's what she is.
Hedda Muscat was with Ellen from the beginning in 2003 when the talk show was launched.
We were told from the very beginning, don't talk to Ellen, don't do this, you can't, go into her office. It was very nerve-wracking, very stressful. We all walked on eggshells all the time.
Muscat says despite Ellen's Queen of Nice reputation, it became clear early on that it would not be a pleasant place to work. One incident with executive producer Ed Glavin left her shaken.
We were in our production meetings and she would watch Ed go off on people. Ellen would look at Ed and she would laugh because I was hoping she was going to say, Ed, you can't be yelling at crew this way. You can't be yelling at people this way. She laughed and she said, every production needs their dog.
Meaning
Ed is her dog.
Like her attack dog.
Her attack dog. So therefore she doesn't need to do that. He took the role of being the attack dog that she didn't have to now be the attack dog. So she didn't have to yell.
So when Ellen says she's not aware of this environment, you don't think that rings true?
It's a lie.
Muscat won 2 daytime Emmys with the show. She was let go in 2004.
As a host, she's amazing. As a host. But as a boss, and someone who's behind the scenes running the show, she's a different person. She's not the person people see.
As time passed, stories about the workplace environment began to surface, and suddenly people started revisiting old clips with a completely different perspective. One moment involved Taylor Swift. During an interview, Ellen repeatedly pushed her to talk about her dating life, turning it into a game, even when Taylor clearly looked uncomfortable. Then there was Dakota Johnson. Ellen joked that Dakota hadn't invited her to a birthday party. But Dakota calmly responded, "Actually, you were invited." That one sentence changed everything. Many viewers, it felt like the first real crack in Ellen's image. Someone had pushed back, live, on camera, and people started paying closer attention. But things became even more serious during an interview with Mariah Carey. At the time, rumors suggested she might be pregnant. Ellen brought out champagne and pressured her to drink it to prove the rumors wrong. Mariah looked uncomfortable, but eventually, she gave in.
Toast to you not being pregnant. If you're not pregnant, then we should.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe her.
Mariah Carey is opening up about this uncomfortable 2008 appearance on the Ellen DeGeneres show.
Why would we toast to that? How about to the future?
Yeah, you can really...
And for both of our futures, who knows what they hold?
Who knows? All right, go ahead.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
The clip of Ellen trying to pressure the singer into drinking champagne as a way to offset pregnancy rumors recently resurfaced on Twitter, following allegations of a toxic workplace environment on the show.
People are saying that that you're pregnant. There's rumors.
Don't discuss that.
All right. Well, you don't have to.
No,
answer.
that's okay. No, honestly,
you
how
don't
do
have to answer me. Let's just toast with champagne.
Now, in an interview with Vulture, Mariah is addressing that extremely uncomfortable moment with DeGeneres, telling the mag that she's really had a, quote, hard time grappling with the aftermath.
I can have some champagne. It's just fattening. So,
You can have champagne?
That's not champagne because you can't.
No, it
have
is.
The singer, who married then-husband Nick Cannon about 6 months prior to her sit-down with Ellen, did everything she could to dodge the TV personality's persistence.
You want to taste it?
I can't believe you did this to me, Ellen.
What? No.
Are you trying
I'm
to
not
just...
going to ask you if you're pregnant or
This
not.
is
I'm just
peer
gonna
pressure.
say.
You see what Ellen is doing? This is peer pressure. I was like, why does she keep talking about champagne?
At one point, Mariah even claimed it was too early to drink, just before appearing to take a small sip.
Go ahead.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
It's too early for me.
Yeah.
I only drink it after 3 p.m.
Yeah. You're pregnant. You're pregnant.
No, you are pregnant.
Years later, Mariah revealed the truth. She was pregnant at the time. And not long after, she suffered a miscarriage. Suddenly, that light-hearted moment didn't feel funny anymore. It felt wrong. As more clips resurfaced, a pattern began to emerge. Guests feeling uncomfortable, pressured, or put on the spot. And the public started asking a bigger question. Was the Be Kind image just a performance? Katt Williams had been saying it for years. According to him, Hollywood doesn't just create stars, it creates characters. Some people spend their entire careers playing a role, afraid of what might happen if the mask slips.
I don't care how people feel about the ritual. It's about, does following the ritual work?
Yeah.
And so you can fool yourself into thinking there isn't one, but the evidence will be clear. So like when I be like, oh, these guys are wearing dresses. Everybody's like, oh, he keeps talking about people wearing dresses. No, it's not.
That is a weird thing.
It's not like that. Look at it from a different way. Look at it. Show me one person that ever wore a dress in Hollywood unsuccessfully. That's how you understand what a ritual is. So 20 years ago, I knew that transgenders was going to be a thing. It wasn't because I was a prophet. It's just I had gotten so much information that I understood that things are secular. So I understood that the earliest I had seen that word transgender was Baphomet, the transgender. And so I knew that in the ritual of Baphomet, the transgender, to show allegiance to him, you had to kiss his ring.
Really?
And it said both of those things. So I knew that both of those things would become popular in the future. And that somehow calling people the GOAT would be normalized.
On screen, everything looks perfect. Smiles, laughter, polished personalities. But behind the scenes, according to many insiders, it can be a completely different world. Stories from people in the industry suggest that what the public sees is only a small piece of a much larger picture.
Now I'm in Malibu and it's supposed to be the shit, but but I didn't understand that. I'm with a black man that owns his house in Malibu. That's unheard of. Flip made it clear. He said, yeah, there's other black people here. Miles Davis is down the street. He's renting. So-and-so, he's renting. I own my But I still didn't get it because I'm young. It's like, this is some boring shit out here on Malibu, the white people left and right, what's going on? So Flip one day looked at me and said, oh, you want to see the shit? I don't know what the shit is, but I want to see something other than Malibu. And he took me to the parties. He took me to the shit to make me understand this is why I don't be around me. And so you seen the orgies. You seen the people that was the stars and the shit that they was doing. And the smells and the looks in their eyes. And I was, in my youth, I kept a cutlass on me. And so I know I'm walking around holding my cutlasses because you've seen people in states of mind that you never experienced nothing like that. I knew people that got high, but they didn't get high and did the shit that I was seeing. And so after I was exposed to it, Flip took me around it about 4 or 5 times. And then he said to me, you see why I don't fuck with that. Because, you had the group of people that painted their fingernails black, what they call Illuminati now. It was some kind of clique then, and in this clique, we wife swap and all this kind of shit. You can fuck my wife and stand there and watch, and all I seen it. I literally seen all these things, and it was like, okay. And in my youth, I wasn't afraid. But I knew I would have hurt somebody if I was approached. I would
Katt Williams describes Hollywood as a system built on three things: power, reputation, silence. And when controversies surface, the public often only sees fragments, while the full story stays hidden. At the same time, real victims connected to cases like Jeffrey Epstein have shared deeply serious experiences. Voices like Maria Farmer have spoken about how vulnerable young women were, and how easily they were pulled into dangerous situations under the promise of opportunity.
In this position of struggling at home, and all of a sudden you're just taken into this world, owned by this man that's saying, I run the government, I run the banks, I know some of the most influential and wealthiest people on the planet.
We could see it too. We could see it too. Like, he had pictures, he had pictures with everybody there, all these prominent people that are on the files now. I'm not going to start naming them, but they're all there. And when we look at this as a child, we're like, oh my God, like celebrities too.
Right.
He would put us on the phone with celebrities. He would put us on the phone with some of these prominent people that are in the files. And he would brag with these people that he was getting a massage by young girls. He would not say how old we were, but he would say we were young. Sometimes we'd be like, oh, I have a young, European girl here, or I have a young Brazilian girl here. So he talked to these people about getting these massages every day. Because if he was in New York, he was getting a massage every day. If I was there, I would see a girl coming down, and I would just think it's a girl from Yale, because he said he had connections with Yale, Harvard, and so many different colleges. And I would just think, because he's a brain surgeon, he's probably, given a lesson, or I don't know what he's doing, or, maybe he's helping this girl out. I don't know, but I would be waiting for him, and there would be a girl coming down. And when I would go upstairs and I would come down, there would be another girl waiting for him. That's 3 girls in a matter of like an hour or 2.
Maria Farmer later revealed how overwhelming everything felt when authorities got involved. Confusion, fear, pressure. With powerful people surrounding the situation, she didn't know who to trust. Even years later, she believes many parts of the story remain hidden, possibly locked away in documents the public has never seen.
Truth has come out, or do you think there's a significant gap between what we know now and what is to come out?
I think there's a lot more that they want us to know. They put out what they want us to know, right? We have 3 other million files that haven't been let out, that haven't dropped yet, and sometimes I wonder, I'm like, why are we even going to let 3 million of the files out when we're not doing anything about these 3 million files, right? But us as Americans, we deserve this transparency, and we deserve to see these other 3 million files. But it does keep us wondering, why are they holding these other 3 million files back? And we have to think about this: who really has gone through 3 million files? So what is in those files? Right now, we're just really focused on serious allegations, doing absolutely nothing about it. So I think there is more to this than what we know.
As the conversation grew, more voices joined in. One of the most controversial came from Dr. Umar Johnson. He argued that the Epstein case wasn't just about one man, but about a larger system involving power, influence, and deep connections. A system that, according to some perspectives, extends far beyond what the public knows.
Nothing in the Epstein file that was not done on the plantation. Hundreds of thousands of documented cases against children. You still Catholic, but you got a problem with Epstein? Any Jew in the world, even if you accuse the, is this what they use it for? What do all the any Jewish, what do? They assume their right of return and they move back to Israel alone. There's been stories done on pedophiles that the Jewish government will not extradite to America. You hear that? Because they have a right of return. You mean to tell me Jeffrey Epstein would not have activated his right of return before they came and arrested him? No way. Loon, there's no way you're going to tell me an intelligence agent for Mossad could not have gotten out of America and gotten back to Israel. Right. I don't think he's dead. I think it was a setup.
Because it is a freaky accident.
Remember, when you know something is coming down the pike, you control it.
Mm-hmm.
This is about to get out. We gotta serve you up. But you're gonna go into exile. We're gonna remake you, whatever. You feel me? We got to serve you up. Because if we don't serve you up, they're gonna keep looking for other people. We can't afford the big dogs to get caught. You feel me?
Right.
Jeffrey, you did a good job. We pulling you off the public work. You feel me? You're going to get your face done over. Nobody, we got new passport. Remember, these are the...
Yeah, the top of the top. 1% of the 1%.
We got a new passport, new house. There is no Jeffrey Epstein. He got a whole new name. He Frank James.
And he watching all this unfold.
Come on! You feel me?
For sure.
Playing cards with Saddam Hussein. And Osama bin Laden. They over there playing hopscotch. You feel me?
Man, that's
Bro,
deep.
they gave us Epstein because he's low. Think about it, Loon. These the big dogs. We got to protect the big dog. You got to fall on the sword for us.
Yes, sir.
He's still going to let you get your girls and all. You feel me? He's still going to be doing his thing.
Now, it's important to say, many of these ideas remain unproven. But the reason these discussions keep returning is because so many questions remain unanswered. Even years later, attention continues to shift back to key locations, key figures, and missing pieces of the puzzle.
Big property, and this allegation is not even clear about when these people were allegedly buried there, which makes me wonder, even if you were digging, what could you potentially find? What would be left over?
You're going to have skeletal remains at this point. These allegations purport that this happened so long ago. And so not only did they say that these are possibly minors, so you have smaller bodies that are potentially buried. You have scavengers that are in this area, again, animals that are indigenous to this area that are, again, it is very hard to dig a grave unless you have special equipment. So, and especially on that type of terrain. So did they have special equipment? We know that, supposedly these people have a lot of money, they have a lot of resources. So if they tapped into those resources, they could have done this properly. But again, that's why the technology piece of this is going to be so important, to be able to see where they could have possibly buried someone. And then the amount of time that has passed, it's going to be grown over. You're not going to be able to see, freshly disturbed ground as you would for someone who has maybe been recently buried. And so again, this is going to take a long time, and those excavation efforts are probably just going to reveal skeletal remains, which then you're going to have to extract DNA from possibly the femur bones. And then who are these supposed minors that were there? Do their families know that they're missing? Where were they trafficked from? So not only are you trying to pinpoint country of origin, possibly, since they said that these minors were possibly from foreign countries, now you're going to have to try to track down family utilizing DNA. Skeletal remains, again, you look at the femur bone, you're trying to gather the DNA from there, but what else could you do? Dental records and things, but you must know the identity of the person in order to be able.
So here's the real question. How much of what we see is real? And how much of it is just part of the show? Because in a world built on image, fame, and influence, the truth doesn't always disappear. Sometimes it just waits. Waiting for the moment when the curtain finally falls. What do you think? Are there still secrets hiding in plain sight? Or has the real story already been told? Drop your thoughts below. And if you want more deep dives like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because some stories are far from over.